Hey y'all, it's Bowen. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're working out in the garden and doing some dehydrating. So if that interests you, stick around to see what we got going. Alright, we are going to go through an official tour of our small backyard garden. So we live in a suburban area. We have a we have a very small backyard. Sometimes I struggle with words. So let me show you what's going on back here and what we're growing. So we are on quite a tight budget, and so our garden is just planted in whatever we can find. We've used a variety of different containers this year, and we bought soil in bulk, which saved us so much money. We bought half a cubic yard of soil for $30, and it's organic vegetable soil. So right now we are planting some garlic in this little cold frame. I've got my helper with me. The other bins are just the Costco plastic black totes, and I have green beans, Swiss chard, broccoli, lettuce, spinach, and dinosaur kale just kind of scattered throughout, and I've also got some radishes. I planted a lot of things this year. I've never had this big of a garden, and I really just kind of wanted to experiment, see what was going to work in our area, that sort of thing. And I've had a problem with caterpillars, so that is why I decided to put the netting on. I'm still learning how to use the netting. It just doesn't seem like it's on very strong. So I don't know what I did wrong. I used zip ties and stuff, but there could still be some improvement made to all of that. You can also see in this picture that I do have a lemon tree in a pot, and I've had that for many years. And I also have my tomato from the summer that's still alive. It's just not producing anything right now. I am a beginner gardener, so if there's something in this video and you're like, oh, she's not doing that right, or she could definitely improve by doing something this way, just let me know in the comments. I am here to learn and share with you along the way. So I caught some rainwater the other day, very unofficially. I do want to set up some sort of rain catchment system. It is legal where I am at, so we can have one in our backyard. Right now, I just catch water with a 5-gallon bucket underneath our gutter and then move it to a plastic tote with a lid. So it's actually the next day, but I needed to harvest a bunch of the Swiss chard and do something with it, just because I had let these leaves sit on there too long and they started turning colors, and I just want to get them out so that the plant can start producing a new batch of leaves. So I'm giving them a really good wash, and I'm actually going to dehydrate them. I have never tried this with Swiss chard, but I have a feeling it's going to be similar to kale or spinach or anything like that. What I love about dehydrating vegetables is that you put the work in, and then all you have to do is add the vegetable to whatever dish you're making. I have used dehydrated spinach in lots of different dishes before. I crumble it into, like, for example, say I'm making kind of a hamburger helper style meal, and I just want to add in a vegetable. Some dehydrated spinach can just blend in really easily, almost to the point where it looks like a seasoning on the top of it. As you can see, I'm wearing different clothes. This whole video was filmed over the course of like 2 to 3 days. I just had to do this in my little snippets of time. So these are going to go into the dehydrator on the herb setting, and I did them for about 12 hours and just until they were completely dry. Here's what the Swiss chard looked like when it was finished. I actually tasted it. It tasted really good, very similar to kale chips, just crumbly leaves basically. So I'm putting them in a jar, and we will use them in recipes, soups, anything we want to add a little dash of vegetable to. I am going to do another batch of vegetables. This time I'm doing chopped up celery and mushrooms. I completely forgot to blanch this celery before I chopped it up. I usually just blanch it when it's like in stalk form, and then I got it into the dehydrator, and I was like, oh darn, I didn't blanch it. You really have to blanch celery before you dehydrate it, so I did do that. I'm just not showing the steps because I forgot until the last second. Up next are mushrooms. Mushrooms are the first vegetable that I ever tried dehydrating, and I do love doing dehydrated mushrooms. They make a really easy addition to your cooking and they add a lot of nutrition. I just lay them out flat, dehydrate them on the vegetable setting until dry. So I usually let them go 12 hours or so just to be totally sure that they're done, sometimes longer. I just check on them every so often. And here's the finished product. I've got 3 jars of dehydrated vegetables ready to go into my pantry to use over the course of probably about the next 6 months or so. I don't usually keep them any longer than that. I usually use them up. So these work really great into, like I said, soups and stews. It just makes making those things easier and more convenient. I think it's a really important skill to learn how to preserve food. As I get more into gardening, I'm taking it a lot more seriously to make sure that I have these skills so that nothing I grow ever goes to waste. Alright, well thank you again so much for stopping by and watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you feel inspired. Again, I am a registered dietitian, wife, and mom, so I share a lot of home type things and a big emphasis on nutrition here. So please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. If you're new and you enjoy my type of videos, then hit that subscribe button and stick around.